Hi, today we're going to talk about the ketogenic diet. This is the video that I promised you from last week. So let's talk about what the ketogenic diet is. Basically, it's a diet that is high in fat, moderate in protein, and very low in carbohydrates. This diet, what it does when you're eating additional fat in your diet, your body will take this fat and convert it to ketones. And then it will use the ketones as a fuel source for your body instead of carbohydrates. It's a much more efficient way of your body functioning, a much more efficient way of energizing your body. Now, some people confuse it with Atkins. It is not Atkins. I'm not dismissing Atkins, but the ketogenic diet is a diet that has less protein in it than Atkins. When you have excessive protein in your diet, it can take that protein and convert it to carbohydrates. That is not what I want as a diabetic. So I try to keep my protein levels moderate. There are lots of variations of the diet. Some people eat higher fat content, lower fat content. Some people have 50 carbs a day. 50 grams of carbs a day. I limit mine to 20. So that's basically what I do, and a very brief, not too in-depth overview of what the ketogenic diet is. It was developed in the 1920s by a physician to help children that suffer from epilepsy, suffer from seizure disorders, because they found that the brain would function better and the outcomes would be better on a child who was on this ketogenic diet. So what does it do specifically? Well, obviously, as a diabetic, it lowers your blood sugar levels, it lowers your insulin levels, it gives you a steady stream of energy, you're more alert, you are more focused. But the big reason that a lot of people do it and why there's so much buzz about it in the community is it helps you lose weight, because your body is burning efficiently on fat. If you're not eating enough fat, it will take the fat in your body and convert it to ketones to fuel your body. So you definitely lose weight. That's a lovely side effect. However, that is not why I do it. And if I've lost a couple pounds, but I don't really watch my calorie intake. I just make sure that I have enough fat every day, a medium amount of protein, and very low carbs. If you are a diabetic, probably the single best thing you can do for your health is eat a ketogenic diet. If you are a type 2 diabetic, you can take your diabetes and put it in what I like to call remission. I don't think you can ever cure it because it's a metabolic disorder. And if you go back to eating the way you ate before, diabetes is going to be there again. But you can put it in remission so that it's not ravaging your body with things like neuropathy in your legs and feet, that it's not damaging your eyes, that it's not damaging your kidneys or your heart, or possibly losing an arm or leg. So many things happen because diabetes is a sneaky disease. It's in your system, and a lot of people don't even realize they have it, and it's doing all this damage. So I feel so good that I have stopped that. They say reverse diabetes, but I just feel like I've put it in remission. If you are a type 1 diabetic, it can give you dramatically increased blood sugar control. But I'm not a doctor, so please check with your physician, see if this is a good diet for you, see if this protocol is something that will be effective for whatever health condition you have. Your doctor is the best one to talk to about this, and hopefully he or she knows a lot about the ketogenic diet, although I cannot imagine that it wouldn't be of benefit. It just doesn't make sense that eating this way wouldn't be of benefit to you. A lot of people will say, you're eating so much fat, it's going to affect your triglycerides and your HDL and your LDL. It hasn't. My numbers have been right where my doctor wants to see them. And like I said, I've been doing this for greater than a year, so he's very happy It has not caused an increase in my cholesterol, my triglycerides, my HDL, or my LDL. In fact, they are much better than they were when I was considered a type 2 diabetic. So when we're talking about the ketogenic diet, so many people focus on what you can't eat. I like to focus on the positive in the ketogenic diet and in life. So if you are a person who's considering this diet, it will benefit you. But I have to talk about what you can't eat. I have to fit the negative in there. I'm sorry. You cannot eat bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, other root vegetables, most fruits, juices, most alcohol, any kind of sweets, any kind of, obviously, donuts, those kinds of things, pastries, grains. I don't eat grains. That includes corn. So there are some things you absolutely will have to exclude from your diet. But there are so many delicious things that you can eat, that you should focus on. And there are so many great recipes out there because so many people are doing the ketogenic diet and developing recipes that are replacements for the things you can't eat. Now, when I first started the ketogenic diet, I really wanted to keep it simple. I thought that was the best way to see if I could do it, if I would see any results from it. So I just, for maybe the first week, week and a half, I pretty much ate the same things. I would have a hard-boiled egg mashed up with a little bit of mayonnaise, which has no carbs in it. I would have 3 or 4 slices of bacon. I would have avocado or maybe some cucumber, something fresh to go along with it. And that fat in that bacon is very satiating. It was really delicious. Then for dinner, I would maybe have, for example, a hamburger with some cheese on it, a big salad with lots of vegetables and a fatty dressing, maybe some berries. But that was pretty much what I ate for meals. And like I said, I fast from about 7 o'clock the night before till around a little bit after lunch. So that was my first meal. So that's what I ate. And then if I needed to have some sort of snack, I would eat some fresh vegetables. Tastefully Simple makes a really great spinach dip that you would mix with sour cream and mayo. So you could dip vegetables in that. That was very fun and made me happy to have something like that to eat. And I ate, or I still do, I eat nuts. Some people don't eat nuts on the ketogenic diet. That's a trigger for them to start overeating. For me, as a diabetic, it works. I do portion them out because you can overeat. You know how easy it is to sit down, if you like nuts, to sit down and just eat handful after handful. So I portion them out in 1/4 cup increments into a Ziploc bag, and then I'll pull 1 or 2 of those out a day to snack on. I will also take raw nuts and I will add some avocado oil to them and some sea salt and eat those. That's very delicious. Maybe a tablespoon of peanut butter, something like that. But one of the side effects of a ketogenic diet is you're not hungry. You don't have food cravings. So that in itself, once you get into ketosis, is a real blessing. Now, getting into ketosis means that your body is taking those carbohydrates that you ate and no longer using them, and now using fat, turning them into ketones, and your body is burning them. That process is painful sometimes because you have cravings. You're sort of sluggish because your body's trying to get itself fat adaptive. It's trying to get itself into ketosis, which is the state where your body's burning ketones for fuel. Sometimes that's painful. So you really have to stay strong. It doesn't last that long, maybe a day or two. You sort of feel fatigued. You feel hungry. You have some cravings. You feel grouchy. But once you're in ketosis, all of that changes. And you'll look back and say, boy, it was really worth it. Some things that I drank when I first started, and I still do, I drank a lot of water. I drink, even now, because of the health benefits, I'll drink some apple cider vinegar and water. But I make a really good, delicious limeade or lemonade. I just squeeze lime or lemon into a glass. I add a couple drops of liquid stevia, and I add some water and either lemon essential oil or lime essential oil. It's so good. It's so delicious and refreshing. I drink sparkling water, and I'll add some essential oil to that, or I'll just drink it plain. I like LaCroix the best. That's the one of my choice. That would be my choice. And I drink something called bulletproof coffee or tea. That is just a cup of coffee or tea, like I said, so you don't have to forego coffee on this diet if you're addicted. I make a cup of coffee or tea, and I add some butter to it, some grass-fed butter. I use Kerrygold. Excuse me, it's delicious. And I add some liquid stevia and a splash of heavy cream. And that's what I'm drinking. And you can drink this while you are fasting, because it does not raise your blood glucose level, and there's not enough calories in there to break your fast. So that's fulfilling. You can have your coffee in the morning before you start eating, so that's good. I also, now I drink bone broth, and I drink it like you would a tea. I drink Fire and Kettle bone broth. They don't carry it anywhere in this area where I live, so I do have to get it online. But if you're able to do that, it is so delicious, and it's all organic, and it's made in small batches, very tasty. Again, I add some butter to it, some salt and pepper, or I will cook with it. It's delicious. I really love that bone broth. But right now, at this point in my ketogenic process, I try to cook meals that my family will enjoy too. So I don't have to cook two separate dinners every night. I cook something that we will all enjoy that is ketogenic friendly to me. I don't know if you can hear that bird outside making lots of racket, but I'm sorry, can't shut him up, sorry. Oh, there he goes, he's quiet now. So there are so many recipes online. If you Google ketogenic diet recipes, you'll find great replacements for the things that you did love. I have a wonderful pumpkin English muffin recipe that uses almond flour or coconut flour that I will share with you in the future. It is so good. I love anything pumpkin. But I follow these specific 4 rules now in my ketogenic diet. I try to eat somewhere around 4 cups of greens of salad a day. That's pretty easy to do. It's not a lot, especially if you want to spread it out between 2 meals. I eat about 2 cups of raw vegetables a day. Generally, they're cucumbers. They could be broccoli or cauliflower, green peppers, fresh green beans. And like I said, I make that dip from Tastefully Simple. That's so good to dip those in. The third thing I do is I do not eat 3 hours before I go to bed. So if I'm planning on going to bed at 10 o'clock, I don't eat until after 7. And lastly, I don't eat any additional carbs. I don't add any carbs. I do not use any artificial sweetener of any kind. I think you've probably heard of all the terrible things that happen with artificial sweetener and happen in your body. You can find that online, I'm sure, too. There are better alternatives, healthier alternatives. So I hope you found this video helpful. I am going to share some recipes in the future, but like I said, you want to have a diet that is mostly fat, a little bit of protein, and very low carb. And you will be successful in the ketogenic diet, and you will see amazing results. I hope you found this video helpful. Have a wonderful week. My dog's barking at me because she has to go outside. So I'm going to end this video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.